the greatest impact we will have is on our kids.
Yeah.
The kids you have, that is the most influence you'll ever have.
Right. Welcome to the Kingsman podcast. This is part of our men's ministry here at Resurrection Life. We're excited y'all join us today. And today we're going to be talking about fatherhood, right? And I said, man, I got the perfect candidate for that. I actually picked up a book called Irreplaceable, right? And I read this book, and it's talking about being a father, and it's by my own pastor, Allen Hickmam. So if you don't know, Allen Hickmam is the pastor of Resurrection Life. He's my pastor, and he is a husband and a father of 11 boys. All right. And so, Pastor, we're excited that you're here with us today.
I'm very glad to be here. Very honored to be here on a podcast.
Yeah, it's
exciting.
It's an awesome setup we got here, man.
That's right.
So I think we can help a lot of men. We talk about fathers, one of the crucial roles that we can play as a man. And I was sitting there reading your book, and I was like, man, this is really good stuff. I didn't even know you had a book. Didn't even know. But it was good. So I want to ask you, first of all, maybe what was your why, I guess you'd say, of writing the book? What made you want to write this book? And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I started recognizing and doing counseling and trying to help young men that if you look at the statistics, there are a lot of men, like more than half, that grew up in broken homes. And so a lot of them don't know what to do, don't know the things that I just deem as natural because I had a father who, he wasn't perfect, but he was a great dad and he loved us. And we just learned certain things, and that's what we were supposed to do. But if you didn't grow up in that and you grew up in a dysfunctional family, well, when you have a family, what you're going to do is repeat what you were trained to do,
right?
And what you saw. And I began to understand that a lot of these guys just don't know how to do it.
Right.
We're complaining about them and saying, man, but what seems natural to us, they don't know.
That's right.
And so what we just take for granted, they don't know. A father being there, a father correcting them, father demanding they work hard, a father telling them they love them, and a father taking care of them,
right?
Paying the bills,
right?
Going to work, being on time, all these things that we take for granted. And that was the reason that I wrote it. I wanted to write it to fathers that could look at it and go, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
This is some ideas. It's not a perfect book, obviously, but to give them ideas of what a father should be. And fatherhood right now is so under attack. You said yourself, those articles.
Yep.
Do we really need fathers?
Right.
And that's the reason I came up with the title of the book, Irreplaceable, because there is no replacement for a father.
That's right.
There's no replacement for a mother. I'm not downplaying motherhood. We absolutely need good, godly mothers. But I wrote this just to take people an idea of we fathers are irreplaceable.
That's right.
And that's how we are.
Yeah, you said something just a second ago about, I've heard the saying, more things are caught than are taught. Right?
Absolutely.
And I think even, we talk about when Jesus came and had disciples, he didn't just preach, he showed them the way.
Yes.
And that's what fathers are in the home, right? So the greatest role of any man is not just being somebody who's in the Oval Office or anything. It's just a father in his home.
Yes.
And that's kind of what I've taken out of the book. And man, it really helped me, even though I'm a father of 4 and my kids have grown a little bit. I was thinking back when I first had my boy who was first born, I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
That's what we found out. They're not going to repossess a kid,
right?
Whether you pay for them or not.
That's right.
And so you got to deal with it. And what I try to tell guys, because I know we want to be successful and we want to be influential and be in the White House or whatever, the greatest impact we will have is on our kids.
Yeah.
The kids you have, that is the most influence you'll ever have.
Right.
And God made it that way.
Right.
And so we need to understand that and embrace that And don't fail there. That was the biggest thing I came to the revelation in my own life, because I know that.
Yeah.
I know that fathers, because I deal with people, fathers have such an impact for good or for bad.
That's right.
On people. And you have a bad father, it takes you a lifetime to get it. Takes the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
It takes God to get you over that. But if you have a good one, man, you are so much further along.
Right.
And this is an area we cannot fail in.
Right.
We can fail in business, but if I don't fail here, I'm going to be a success.
Right.
And so
when you look around, I almost consider that right now almost an epidemic that we have in America for fathers. I mean, it's where most of our problems come.
Wow.
You see the statistics. Just one I can remember off the top of my head: 70% of males in prison don't have a father in their home.
That's right.
Right. So many things go back to the lack of fatherhood and fathers in the home. And so, I think it's a very big thing that we need to talk about today, and that's why we have you on here.
Well, the thing that Hallmark did, I think I mentioned it in the book. If I didn't, I should have. But Hallmark offered to a prison, they offered cards on Mother's Day. And like 99% of the prisoners took a card and wrote it to their mother. And it was such a success and positive thing that they did it for Father's Day. And about 30% took a card.
Wow.
And it was amazing. These were guys in prison.
Right.
And so you begin to understand, man, we need fathers. They are irreplaceable.
Right.
A mother is irreplaceable, but fathers give kids certain things that cannot be found anywhere else.
Right.
I was ministering at a church, and the Lord just said, I want you to tell that guy I'm proud of him, and he is a good son. And he was 60-something years old, big old guy.
Wow.
And he just wept when he said, I've waited my whole life to hear that. I mean, fathers are irreplaceable. And I wanted to write a guide that would help just normal guys understand, here's some of the things to help you be successful.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I mean, it's needed, and I think it can help a lot of people. We think about fathers who are listening right now. I just know that from talking to so many fathers, even as a men's pastor, you talk to so many, the value of a father, what you're stressing right now, I think it's important for them to see, because everything in the world and hell itself is telling them it's not.
That's right.
And so they're chasing things to find value in, when the value is right there in front of them every single day.
Yes.
And I struggled, as a young, you're going to learn more from experience.
That's
right.
But
I would have loved to have someone who's already gone through the path and done some things to maybe mentor me and help me in that. Yeah. And I think that's what this book can do, and it can help some people. So we hope we get some more to tune in, because we're gonna wrap this one up for today. But we wanted to talk to y'all about how important this is, fatherhood. Fathers, you matter. You're valuable, right? What you're doing lasts for eternity, right?
Absolutely.
You are passing on a legacy from generation to generation. And so I just want to encourage you to make sure you keep listening. I'm going to continue to talk to Pastor Allen. He's going to give us some insight, some things that he shares even in his book, but from his own experience of raising 11 boys, of some things that can maybe help us as fathers to do the job that God's called us to do, all right? So make sure y'all tune in next week. We thank y'all for joining us. God bless you. Hey guys, again, I want to thank you for joining the Kingsman podcast. Listen, we're trying to help men all across the world, and just you making sure you hit that little like button, or you subscribe if you're on YouTube, or maybe if it's Spotify or Apple, you can just go ahead and give us a rating. We would really appreciate it, because this helps get the information out, and we want this to bless whoever it can possibly bless. It can touch one person's life, change one person's life somewhere far away from here that God knows needs to hear it, and it can touch them. That's what we want. So you can help us out just by subscribing and liking our channel. Please do that, and make sure you continue to join us right here at the Kingsman Podcast.